really good at having sets off in attack as well when he needs to. I was watching him purposely for that, because thinking, how's he going to manage his way through the rest of the game? And he did that really well. Special mention has to go to the 3 stars of Wigan's left edge. We covered them in the stats, but they were outstanding again. And also, I thought Ryan Hampshire had a really good game. He was forced up into the halfback with all the injury switches around that had to happen. He was pretty solid under kicks. He was, as was Morgan Escray, shockingly. He was pretty solid under kicks. He was pretty resolute defensively. He made a couple of good tackles in the line in the second half that I was impressed by. And he was a good contributor in the game. And he was him. Taking the ball and having a quick burst from the kicks was actually a huge reason why Wakefield had all the territory, because Wigan were kicking from their own sort of 30 or 40 line, getting it to him on the 20, and he was getting up to near the 40 by the time Wigan's chasers were getting there. He was decent. Highlight moments for the Wigan fan, for me, it was probably Joe Burgess's break off the Morgan Escray pass right on his own try line. Thrilling stuff, the sort of stuff you want to see our rugby league players do. And then his try just a few plays later, scoring on what felt like Wigan's first attack of the game, like I say. But for everyone else, it's obviously that Max Jowett try. If everyone doesn't know, Max Jowett scored that try that we've all been watching over and over again. The David Fafita run to set it up, there was the talking point, I suppose. A special note too for the Joe Arundel try, actually, that came just before that try. It was a really well worked play that involved Miller and Hampshire to get Arundel free and really confused the Wigan marker defence on that play. So that was a really well worked try as well. In fact, there were several well worked tries. Wigan's 2 tries in as the game closed in were really well worked between in the golden edge. So yeah, some good moments, some less than savoury moments. There was a sin bin at the end as well. Paulie striking out at Gildart because he couldn't cope with Gildart setting up so many tries, I think. Who knows? But yeah, a couple of flare-ups as well as the injuries, but hopefully none of them are too serious. But it sounds like maybe one or two of them might not be great.
Yeah, and it's always a negative. I mean, just from seeing the highlights, what I noticed, particularly just from a Wakey point of view, was that how varied the tries were in terms of kind of forward-dominated breaks or forward-dominated kind of tries under the post, or there would seem to be tries from kicks left, right. So obviously they dominated for a period of the game, but they weren't.
What those highlights don't show you is that other than the try from the kick, all those tries came in 4 sets of possession.
Yeah, obviously you can't appreciate that in a 2-minute highlight reel. But
so
yeah,
what I'm saying is, the spell of dominance was 4 sets of possession.
Yeah, and it seemed like they could almost, when you put that into context, it seems like they could kind of kill you anywhere they chose. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they could kind of beat you out wide or whatever.
The fairer thing to say is the spell of execution by the Wakefield side, because they dominated the territory throughout. Like was it Wakey White who said the pointless 30 minutes? No, it was Mark who said the pointless 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
Do you know what? It would have been a really enjoyable game as well without the fallout over the injuries and that sort of stuff. So, Sam Powell's got a ban for what he did. So
these things happen.
Last game of the weekend, then. God, we've rattled through some things that, some controversial points to talk about, I suppose, and this game is not without them either. Catalans 30, Hull FC 31, and a second golden point win of the season for the Hull FC side, and the Black and Whites turned the form on its head, being the side that kicked off, yet the side that won, but we'll get to that. It was 18-8 to Hull FC at half-time, a surprise heavy lead for them at half-time, actually. 8,220 saw Chris Kendall referee this one. Again, no team stats, but individually, Josh Griffin, 2 tries, 6 tackle busts, 140 metres and 2 clean breaks. Beretta Faraimo, 1 try, 9 tackle bust, 145 metres. Danny Houghton, 1 try assist, 51 tackles, both ways EM8. And Dean Hadley, who was sprung into the starting lineup at late notice, 55 tackles, 10 of which were marker tackles. Then for the losing Catalan side, Tony Gigo, a try assist, 104 metres and 2 clean breaks. Julian Busquet, 147 metres. Remy Casti, who was impressive, 127 metres. And Greg Bird, 123 metres.
Yeah, so in terms of fan views, first getting in touch is Malcolm Matios. Said, can't even beat Hull, Steves. Get the bolt gun ready, Bernie. Shoot the fucker now. We'll bury the body tonight.
Oh We've got to get some "Get the Bolt Gun Ready" t-shirts for when we see Malcava Tios in Barcelona. Tom Andrews said, Paige managed to tear herself away from programmes about jammy dodgers to see a squad of jammy todgers somehow get a win in France. Thanks to a bent rule and Willie Army not knowing the rules of the game he plays for a living. Hopefully this just builds up some of the false hope before Friday. Funny they are getting 7 players back apparently. Funny who shows up for a cup final.
And in response, Paige says, 2 18-year-olds, 2 debutantes, 2 37-year-olds in the squad. Well, that's your own fault. And 6 front rowers out, and we still pull out a win. Priceless seeing Tompkins' face at the end. Twat. Fucking love Golden Point. So do I. So do FC and Sneyd. Bring on the bin dippers.
Joshua's granddad said, what a game. Won, lost, drawn, bloody won again. The man with the golden boot, Sneyd, nerves of steel with the penalty, unplayable kickoff, and to set up that drop goal, the kids Brown, Wynn, and Ellis all came of age.
He's going to be big, that lad, Ellis. And finally on this one, Always in Our Shadow says, last minute and thought, fuck it, it's the Dobbins all over again. Already proud of effort from the battered squad, but up steps the man with a boot. 4 kicks later and it's party time for FC. Rat Boy spent the game trying to milk penalties and Kendall's here again. Why doesn't he stick to playing rugby? He's actually quite good at it.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't think he was the only one milking penalties. I think it went a bit of both ways in this game, but you certainly saw some examples of pure penalty milking. There was a really bad one from Tompkins when the game was kind of coming towards the end, and this is the talking point from this game, I suppose. Lee Radford's come out and asked for RFL talks about it. Well, I hope his team are going to own up to their own stepping over players to play it back into them, because that happened from Hull FC as well as from Catalan Dragons in this game. And I think it happens from all teams, and there was one in the Wigan game where it looked like Danny Brough had actually when the Wigan marker, the Wigan player who'd fallen off the collision and was behind the ruck tried to sort of roll away do a back roll away, it looked like Danny Brough pulled his leg and pulled him back down. So then the ball got played into him, you know. And in this game, Greg Bird played the ball with his heel like no one played the ball with a heel all season. He fucking powered it. There was no chance of his dummy half ever getting his hands on it, but he knew that he was trying to win the penalty by playing it into the man on the floor and not by actually trying to play the ball to his player. This game was utterly littered with it. I actually watched this game in 3 different sections because I was out when it was on and then caught up in spells, and every spell I came away from it watching it thinking those 2 teams, they're both just stepping over players to win penalties.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue to see it because it's winning penalties.
Because the refs kind of reluctantly have to blow.
Yeah, because that's what we're telling them to do.
Yeah, and it was from both teams in this game. But yeah,
exactly. No,
I understand why the whole
every team will do it.
Ones that the Catalans did, because they were particularly egregious.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it'd be remiss of us not to, if we're talking about Tompkins, it'd be remiss not to mention the break for Gigo's try. I thought that was particularly good. It's in
my highlight moments. Gigo's try was really nice. I thought, and actually, there was the 2 of the forward tries. The one by young Jack Brown with I think his first touch in Super League, and the one by Battieri the other way. Both really nice plays in the forwards. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this game. I actually struggled to. I wasn't blown away by the performance over the 80 minutes or 82 minutes of many of the players in this game. Actually, I certainly think I'm the only person who didn't think that Mark Sneyd walked on water in this game. I don't know if everyone remembers, but he kicked out on the full at one point in this game, and that put his side under pressure. And there was a few other mistakes he made as well during the game that I thought, because I'd watched the last part of this game when I'd already heard that everyone was loving how great Sneyd was.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see it in this game. However, he did come up with 3 really crucial, important highlight moments. I mean, I wasn't impressed with him over the full piece, but his kick-off to start Golden Point, that was a special play, and ultimately it set up the winning drop goal, which he kicked perfectly, and the 50-metre penalty, which he also kicked perfectly, and the kick-off, which Well, that kickoff. Do you know? I'm not even convinced by how much it didn't go 10 meters. Like, if the 40-meter line obviously has two lines, doesn't it? It has the red line to show it's the 40-meter line and the white line to show it's just a line. And I sort of think the tip of the ball would have been touching the red line, but not quite the white line. It was that. I think it felt like it was that close. I know Willie Army made a gaff. He shouldn't have played for the ball. He thought my feet are inside over the 40, so everything's over the 40. And to be honest, I wasn't certain that he couldn't catch it from being behind the 40 as well. But it was very marginal calls. There was that all the marginal calls went against the Catalans Dragons in this game, but I don't think they were good enough to deserve to win the match, which is really weird. It's really weird. There was the last try, the Beretta Farimo try, came from a very much forward pass from Jake Connor, not disputing the fact that it was a lovely piece of flick play genius by a really talented player who is great to see back on the field, by the way. However, it was forward, so it shouldn't have been a try. And then there was the no try, the one where Cassiano threw an amazing one-handed, backhanded, palmed back offload to Matt Whitley, who'd been forced into the centres by that stage, I think, when Fuad Yaha went off injured, who scored the try. But it's pretty similar to the one on the Thursday night game in a way. This one where Cassiano was carrying the ball, he had two defenders on him, he was wafting the ball around trying to get his arm free to get an offload, and Greg Bird was the first man who presented for him on a really great line. He ran clean through the line, but Tumavave started to follow Greg Bird as if I need to watch out if he gets the ball. The problem was Cassiano's momentum in carrying the ball took him across the back of Greg Bird's line. So by the time he passed it, he'd actually passed Greg Bird, and Greg Bird's run had influenced the defender. So, again, letter of the law stuff. I could understand why it wasn't given, but it felt wrong again. Do you know what I mean? It just feels like we're rubbing off tries that feel like they shouldn't be rubbed off just because of small stuff. Like, it just gone across the back of a player who'd well cleared the line by the time he threw the offload, but it did influence the defensive line. And then there was that thing on the 40.3 meter line or whatever it ended up being. It just felt so close yet so far, and it's one of those games where probably neither side deserved to win, but credit to Hull FC for pulling it out. Josh Griffin was probably my player of the match, personally. I'd go with him. Ellis was good, and at the other end of the spectrum, the two kids for Hull FC were very good as well, both grabbing tries as well. Unfortunately, I think it was one of the two kids, might be Connor Wynn, whose stats we don't have, who messed that up. It's not his fault, but that's the way it was. Yeah, just credit to them for toughing it out and winning with a much depleted side, I suppose.
Yeah, getting it done. I particularly enjoyed I can tell that Catalan haven't been doing their video review because the Griffin's first try was a carbon copy of his try against Salford. So that they obviously haven't been. I weren't expecting that. It was literally a carbon copy.
Yeah, it was. Houghton sort of running out one way,
Houghton run in
back the other way.
Open then closed side. Yeah. But
and it's worked, and teams are going to have to get on that because if you're going to be lazy around that sort of a defender on the blind side, Griffin's a powerful centre when he's playing in the centre. Actually, Griffin, one of the other things why I think he was dead good in this game is he had to move into the pack halfway through to cover some of the situations they've got going on there. And when Kelly came on and Connor went to the centre and stuff. But I wasn't hugely blown away by anyone in the game, really, though. It was an exciting game, a hard game to forget, but without many performances to remember.
Yeah, it's funny. It bookends it with Thursday nights in terms of it being a very close game.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what we want, isn't it?
Definitely. Oh, definitely. On the games that your team aren't involved in, certainly. Okay, standings. Do you want to run us through the standings?
Yep, so St Helens returned to the top, overtaking Warrington after their clash. Cass, Wakey and Hull FC all sit on 12 points, a few wins back of the top two. Catalans are 6th on 10 points. Salford and KR are joined on 8 points by Huddersfield. Wigan fall to 10th. Bottom two, London and Leeds, stay as they were in cup action this week.
Yeah, the stat line